please be as brief as possible. Descendant, we have an urgent report on Sharon. Her current position is near the Vulgus munitions factory. Thanks to your diversionary tactics, she was able to reach the target safely, but the Vulgus have appeared. This is the sitrep recorded by Sharon's Deceive.
Operating arcade tracking matrix. Kuiper retrofitted active camouflage detected. Probability of zone infiltration high. Ironheart excavation site status. Quarantine at the highest level of security. Terminate the descendant on site. Terminate. Terminate.
This cyborg Vulgus, Edelik, is a commando-level model specializing in defense missions. It's armed with arcade tracking functions. And it seems the Vulgus already know about the Ironheart excavation site. I was told that the Ancestors' data was tightly guarded at Kingston. If the Vulgus have gained access to it, however, then this rigorous level of security makes sense. For the moment, Sharon has requested an attack on the repository's core facility to lure the Vulgus commander. Once the Vulgus have vacated the factory, she intends to try and infiltrate it again. Descendant, you and Jeremy are to launch an attack on the repository.
Are you sure this guide can be trusted? Didn't you guys win at Kingston?
Focus on the mission, Jeremy.
Descendant, I am at a loss for words. The Ancestors' data that the Vulgus obtained in Kingston was formatted in such a way that it could not be fully viewed until all of the data packets were combined. The Vulgus managed to transmit around 90% of the data. Defeating their commander prevented them from transmitting the remaining 10%. But they were able to reconstruct the missing 10% themselves and read all of the data. How was that possible? I need to analyze this. Descendant, you need to continue your search for the Ironheart excavation site. If the Vulgus enter it first, they may destroy the entire site after they find what they want. We must hurry.
How pathetic. A full operation for such a minor target? Guess the Colon Special Forces aren't that special after all. I've sent you a more appropriate mark, so you can show me what you can really do with those highfalutin skills of yours. Get it together, come on!
Sending info on mark. Target, Vulgus Kuiper storage tanks. Descendant, be advised, the storage tanks should not be detonated. The key objective is to disarm security and seize the Kuiper packs stored within. Vulgus use the rare metal Kuiper in a different way from us. Specifically, the way they process it causes massive contamination and contributes to the destruction of the environment in Ingress. Research to restore the environment is underway. To help this, you need to seize the Kuiper from the Vulgus. And if you can keep their commander occupied, it will be better. All storage tanks disabled. Mission relay terminated. All storage tanks disabled. Mission relay terminated.
This is Sharon. Nice work with the support. I've managed to shake off their tracking. I'm scouting for intel around the factory. I've relayed the coordinates of the temporary outpost, requesting all units to regroup at the designated location. Officially beginning infiltration operation.
Olá pessoal, tudo bem? Obrigado pela paciência em assistir a nossa transmissão. Vamos dar continuidade às atividades aqui no The First Templar, né? First Templar não, o First Descendant, foi mal. E First Templar é um jogo antigão, excelente. Já tá começando a aparecer mais gente aqui. Vamos que vamos, meus queridos.
Deactivating active camouflage.
Sharing, vamos lá.
I'm alive, thanks to you. And you even found time to attack the Vulgus Kuiper facility. I've really gotta hand it to you.
A galera não acredita que eu tô jogando a resolução
How did I
8K,
manage
né?
to get the slip
8K
on
Ultra
Eder
HD,
Lake?
né? Mas paciência.
He retreated as soon as the battle at the mining site was over and headed toward a facility. It looked like he'd planned to do so from the beginning. I wondered what he was up to, but he actually did us a favor in the end. I think the Ironheart excavation site is underneath that facility. A pretty hastily built structure? Check. Multiple security devices guarding the entrance? Check. Commander-level Vulgus disappearing inside? You can see how it all adds up, right? I need to assign missions to all operatives to shut down the facility's multiple security devices. It'll require specific procedures, but I've had experience in dismantling many of these types of devices. Let's move. We need to get in there before the Vulgus can do anything to the excavation site.
I have to admit, not even my arcade can penetrate the quantum barrier of these security devices. Those rust buckets have put some thought into this.
Bem, só para mostrar para vocês, botando no modo 8K, é aqui ó. 8K, só que no formato Super Ultra Wide, né? Na verdade, o Super Ultra Wide é um formato 32:9, estou no 48:9. Apesar daqui estar aparecendo isso, né? Mas na verdade, 16:9, só que na verdade esse formato aqui é o 48:9. Beleza? Vamos lá, a missão é desativação de vários dispositivos de segurança. Vamos com esse amigão aqui, ó. Eu acho que ele vai fazer a mesma missão. Essa perna tá dele, eu acho que ele vai pegar mais. Esse amigo aqui. Aqui, chefe, ó.
Operation status, jammer installation complete. Using the jammer to neutralize the distress signals sent by Eder Lake should allow us to bypass one of the Vulgus' security measures. Your task is to protect the jammer while I work. device is disabled. Mission accomplished.
Posso começar aqui, mas eu vou lá atrás de outro. Vamos ver o local diferente.
To bypass the multi-stage security system, you'll need a unique authentication sequence used by the Legion of Immortality.
Tá certo. Certo. Já cai lá.
You need to collect samples from the Legion in good condition and put them in the supply
Eu
box.
perdi esse cara, eu acho.
These will be analyzed in Albion, and they'll send us a sequence we can use for security authentication.
pegar isso aqui pra testar aqui.
I've received word that the supply box has arrived safely. The authentication sequence.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll sit this one out, Sharon.
What did you say?
Aí os caras ainda falam bem assim: porra, tu comprou um monitor 8K, mas não tem nada em 8K. É assim. A gente não compra o monitor não, televisão, né? Uma tela 8K. Você não compra pra só assistir stream, né? Você
Get to the
compra pra
point.
outras coisas também. Ó, jogar é um. Infelizmente, devido à placa de vídeo ser antiga, só dá para transmitir no YouTube. Não dá para transmitir na Twitch não, senão vai forçar demais a placa.
It seems as if all of you have forgotten, so I'll repeat myself one more time, since they're here too. It looks like it'll be a guide-related mission from this point on, which means I can't have anything to do with it, right? You're the one who told me I should be in a supporting role, Sharon, yeah? Since I can't connect to the guide. Report that to HQ however you like. It's not like they have a cell that can hold me, do they? Nah. Maybe I will sit in a cell and get some rest. It's been a while. Last time I was there, it was really fun. I'm not sure who blabbed about my secret operation, but had it been carried out, not only would we have the Iron Heart, but Corell's heart as well. I guess that's just my little walk down memory lane. Have fun with your imaginary friend. Peace!
Sharon, give me the order and I will track him.
Let him be. Jeremy's RK ability is teleportation. We have no way of catching him.
Descendant, although it was not my intention, there seems to be a misunderstanding with Jeremy. I do not choose who I am linked with. The process follows strict directives woven into RK by the ancestors. I have no knowledge of the details of these directives, nor am I capable of ignoring them. If I were able to alter those directives, would I have been able to resolve this misunderstanding with Jeremy? Could I ease Alpha's suspicions? The human mind is difficult to comprehend. It feels like a mass of powerful energy surrounded by a resilient defense mechanism, almost like an iron heart. I apologize for occupying your time before an important operation. I will focus on the emergency restoration protocol and remain on standby. I hope I can bring results that reflect the level of effort you have put into this operation.
You'll need to leave first, Descendant. Sharon's prosthesis has been damaged from excessive RK use. We'll join you as soon as we can.
Don't worry. You've seen what they're capable of. I hope these repairs can be done quickly.
Local de despertar do Coração de Ferro. Encontrar o local de mineração do Coração de Ferro no esquecimento e restaurar o sistema Vulgus. Iniciar a operação pública. O ruim é que tem que esperar, né? Mas tudo bem. É o tempo da gente dar um pulo no banheiro, né? Lembrando, tá, gente? Garrafa do lado de vocês sempre, tá? Garrafa de água, tá? Opa, já vai começar. Bom remédio? Bom.
Descendant, I'm detecting an unusual energy flow nearby. These are traces of Ironheart excavation. Ironheart microparticles confirmed. Initiating emergency restoration protocols to repair damaged systems. Descendant, we have retrieved Ironheart elements from the excavation site. Next, I must... Oh no. This wasn't just an excavation site. I need to interface with the quantum monolith, a data processor belonging to the ancestors. This device contains my restoration data, which can be copied using Ironheart microparticles. I can guide you there.
Caralho, o gráfico tá muito top, né? Morri? Certo? Ó, o Frei 2 já tá lá, o Frei. Tá fazendo a mesma campanha que eu.
However, to access the quantum monolith, Descendant, I must undergo authentication here first. I should still have access, as it was my system and memories that were damaged. Please keep the Vulgus at bay while the authentication is in progress.
Sério? Era fraquinho, né, cara? Aqui é a morte, é? Porra, de novo, velho.
Intruders accessing core asset. Approaching high risk levels. Initiating facility lockdown procedures.
Descendant, passageways are being blocked across the facility.
Acho que é aqui, né?
I'll do my best to find a way out, but it won't be easy to maneuver. Please be careful.
Ah, já estão fazendo a festa. Bonito.
As an excavation site, there must have been countless experiments conducted here using the Ironhearts. Emergency restoration protocols would have...
No one can leave! Executing Legion of Immortality General Haven's orders!
I must access the quantum monolith. Defeat the Vulgus.
Só na Gameflix você assiste em 8K os jogos mais incríveis graficamente.
The void corrosion has encroached upon my legion.
That is because of an unknown error. It will be fixed momentarily.
Jogão, velho, de graça.
Complete. The security threat has been neutralized. I have completed all preparations as you commanded.
Begin.
The Legion will be reborn through the Iron Heart.
Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for Kuiper!
Carro.
Stand at the vanguard for me, Al-Zaruk. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Al-Zaruk submits to Lord Karel's command. Armor, transport the Iron Heart to my fortress. Initiate the data inversion immediately.
Ah, porra, o bicho vai pegar. Tá o negócio. O Dani tá aqui só vendo o vídeo, acho, tá lá, da animação. Só vendo o cenário aqui da gente, admirando. E jogar em 8K é pra isso, pra mostrar o gráfico. coisa de Nutella, pode chamar de Nutella, pode chamar o que for. Trabalhei e estudei para isso. Estudei, eu fazer que nem o Renato tá dizendo. Eu quero, eu posso, mas primeiro tem que trabalhar, estuda muito. Trabalhar muito, estudar, trabalhar muito. É isso. Beleza, agora a gente vai para onde? Aqui está dizendo assim: Kuiper, após a tração do sistema, desloque-se para Albion. Só aqui o cenário. Um detalhe gráfico perfeito, né? Os jogos há muito tempo que esses jogos. Obra. Bom, acabou. Posso ir direto, posso esperar dar o tempo.
Descendant, even though the Vulgus managed to access the data first, I have been able to restore one of my core functions through the emergency restoration protocol. I am finally able to detect the Ironheart. Let me explain this function and how to utilize it.
Vamos lá no roxinho.
Descendant.
Guide após tração do sistema.
My Ironheart detection system has a scanning function which uses RK to detect certain environmental factors. Within zones where RK can be detected, my system can track the Ironheart through its unique pulse, particles, and energy. The tracking range and accuracy depends on where RK particles are distributed across Ingress. At present, considering the operational zones where descendants are deployed, approximately 35% of Ingress can be covered. I have just detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location, which is important. There is clearly something of interest at the Vulgus munitions factory. By using my detection system Descendant, I can find traces of the Ironheart through descendants who have been deployed throughout Ingress. However, the Vulgus called Eamon, the one who accessed the quantum monolith, gained a great deal of relevant information after repairing the Ironheart. It seems the theft of the Ancestors' data was also led by Eamon. Even though he is a Vulgus, he possesses a high level of understanding of the Ancestors' technology. However, a Vulgus is only a Vulgus. They cannot defeat a direct descendant of the Ancestors. Use me to find the Ironheart descendant. I will assist humankind from this moment forward.
Descendant, I've received the report on the results of the operation from Colon Special Forces. It seems the core functionality of the guide has been restored. I have a related operation for you. Please return to HQ.
There isn't much time. We have to hurry.
Descendant, a quick word before the briefing. You seem to be a little too preoccupied with your AIzing the guide over the operation report. The guide is only a strategic tool. I tolerate her under the condition she does not cross a line, but I don't consider her... Keep that in mind, and you'll be the best teammate anyone could ask for. That being said, this operation was expertly handled. I trust you to keep up the good fight, Descendant. As you may be aware, the guide has detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location.
The location is inside the Vulgus munitions factory. Sharon and the Colon Special Forces have been conducting stealth reconnaissance, but time is running out.
Once you've completed preparations, join Sharon and look for traces of the Ironheart. We've kept our end of the bargain. Now it's the guide's turn to prove her worth.
HQ, we appreciate the support. The operation will commence once reinforcements arrive.
Começou o lag do jogo, ó. Eu acho. Ó. Pesou demais agora, não? É o seguinte, quando fica assim, eu tenho que parar de transmitir, dar uma pausa, depois eu volto. Seguimento de partículas. Fudeu. A placa tá na azul, tem uma placa de vídeo, ó. Deixa eu ver aqui. Ela tá. Você vê aqui o... Tá muito 9%. Vamos ver a temperatura. Uma placa de quase... É que não tá tão quente não. Provavelmente ela tá no máximo. Um pouco de memória. Fora. Tá na hora de trocar a velhinha já. Ele tá transmitindo a live ao mesmo tempo. E, cara, não é fácil não, mano. Vou parar de novo. Aí vou fechar o programa inicial. É. Vai dar pra transmitir mais não. Exato. Já cansou, se estressou a placa de vídeo. Estressou a bichinha. E olha que nem tô usando o gráfico do máximo, hein, do Ray Tracing. O Ray Tracing ia ser mais fantástico ainda. Se estressou mesmo. Sinto muito, pessoal. Vou ter que parar aqui a transmissão para ver se ela para de estressar. Opa, parou de se estressar. Vamos lá. Parou? Ah, parou de se estressar. E olha que a bicha fica. Vamos ver aqui o mapa mundo. Onde é que eu tô aí? Peraí. Aqui, ó. Na Terra estéreo. É, meus amigos. A placa se estrança fora. Vou ver se ela se desestressa um pouco. É. Opa. Se desestressou, bichinho. Vamos lá.
It'll be fine for a while, all right? Sorry, I wasn't able to help you at the excavation site. To be honest, I'm not sure if my functions, my skills, are at full capacity.
Não chora, Shari.
It takes a huge amount of RK to maintain the Kuiper retroreflective active camouflage. It feels like my prosthesis and I are both slowly reaching our limits. But if the Ironheart is within our reach, I have to give it my all, even if it breaks me. The guide said that Ironheart particles are the fundamental clues we need to track it. They're kind of like footprints that the Ironheart leaves behind wherever it goes. I've compared the location of these footprints to the recon intel. We should find more conclusive data as we continue to follow the traces. I'll send the details of the zone you'll need to cover to your receive. The remaining zones will be covered by Colon operatives.
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the archy of descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing.
Isso foi fogos, é? Eu, hein? Do nada, mano. Mataram o traficante do caramba.
I'm not sure why, but I'm sensing Ironheart particles in the wastewater in this zone. Can you confirm?
I've taken over operation of the environmental data collector we've installed. When we retrieve it, we'll be able to check the environmental parameters without coming into contact with contaminated wastewater. Will there be enough data for you to perform an analysis, Guide? You know our equipment can't detect Ironheart traces.
Once I complete analysis of the composition of the wastewater, I should know why I can detect Ironheart particles.
Then we'd better retrieve the data quickly. It will only be available for a limited amount of time.
Guerra saltinho. Tem que segurar. Muito difícil. Tá segurando. sentindo uma pena.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and Vulgus electrolytes. The iron-hard particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind.
Tactical target achieved. Zone with substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon.
HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Corell board. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun of the Albion mountain range is probably our heaviest hitter. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate Ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.
Entendi. Próximo. Bora. Aí, a placa para de se estressar. Bora. merda. Pedra besta. Cenários são muito foda, né? Dá pra viajar pra lá, mas não dá pra selecionar.
Descendant, I can detect both Ironheart particles and its pulse in this zone. It keeps moving. If you and Sharon can widen the range of Arche, I can obtain more accurate information. Please help me. Also, my system has been more inconvenienced than I expected. I believe that once it was restored, I would be able to locate the Ironhearts wherever they may be in Ingress. However, it may be that my system has yet to be completely restored. As I was created for the Ironheart, I assumed my performance would not be this lackluster. In order to achieve my goal, our goal, my performance will need to improve.
Let's think about that later, if we make it out alive. If the Vulgus have a large assault ship, they'll soon be pouring into this place. Number 17 and I will operate in stealth mode. You stay sharp.
Descendant, I have found a suitable location for detecting Ironheart pulses. This is a large nuclear reactor, which is connected to this entire zone. By comparing the reactor's pulses with the Vulgus virus signal, I can detect pulses from a wide area. Deactivated the nuclear reactor. But right up until it was deactivated, I could detect Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location.
This is believed to be a Vulgus bioengineering facility. Remember the wastewater treatment plant where we found Ironheart particles? The wastewater pipes from there connect to this facility. We can figure out what these bastards have been up to when we take a look around. Look for a Vulgus terminal to access it.
Be careful, Descendant. I've identified multiple Vulgus signals inside the facility. Expect random hostile encounters.
We're too late. All experimental data has been deleted.
Not all of it. There's a cache of records about the most recent experiments. It's not ideal, but I'll try to restore it as best I can.
In the meantime, you and I might as well follow the Ironheart particles. ironheart particles and faint traces of energy everywhere. Judging by these traces, the energy extracted from the ironheart was injected into the Vulgus submerged in Kuiper solution. The Vulgus genes and Kuiper must have fused as a result. The pain would have been terrible. Not even a Vulgus knowledge.
That's why there were ironheart particles in the wastewater.
Descendant, I have pinpointed the location where all of the ironheart traces converge. It is hidden within the facility of the Legion of Immortality. I can detect a continuous ironheart pulse and particles, as well as a small amount of energy from this place. And they seem to be moving. I recommend we investigate this place, Descendant. I'll need you to lend me your strength.
Sharon, I will stay behind and retrieve the cache of Vulgus experiment records. I'm sure they'll contain valuable information.
I'll enter the inner facility first. Join me when you're ready.
Tá ficando interessante esse jogo.
synchronize the alarms with the nuclear reactor's self-destruct switch. What the hell are they thinking? They'd rather take everyone and everything with them than give up the Ironheart. I can modify the circuitry, find the alarms and destroy them.
O cara fazendo a missão daqui. Quando a missão pública é isso. O cara já faz pra gente, já limpa a área, facilita a nossa vida. Assim como eu faço facilitar a vida.
I'm sure they wouldn't dare do something like that if Corell and Eamon were actually here. For now, we need to stabilize the deactivated reactor, turn on the coolers. I'll continue tracking the Ironheart traces. Esse cara é muito rápido. Tá de sacanagem, tem pro lado errado ou não? Lado errado, né?
All units transmitting critical operation details. From the restored Vulgus experiment records, I've reconstructed an audio recording that seems to have been made during the time of the experiments. Listen.
The Legion will become greater through the Ironheart. Rise, my warriors! If your lives will
pra lá.
stand at the vanguard immediately.
It cannot be. Then these Ironheart traces are...
Alzaroke.
Vai fazer a missão sozinho.
I see you found the experiment records. Seems I wasn't thorough
Indo pro lado errado, né?
Yes, I'm Alzaroke. Lord Karel's vanguard. Born again, thanks to the Ironheart. Lord Karel said you would come. I am to bring him your hits. I'll be waiting, Descendant.
Damn it! So the Ironheart's already gone then?
So this is why the traces felt displaced. Descendant, in order to increase the accuracy of our pursuit, we need to access all the data on Vulgus units who were transformed using the Ironheart. There is so much information that is hard to accept. This Alzarok is one thing. But Garel has ordered for the Iron Heart to be inverted. Whatever that means. Inversion. What could that be?
Pronto, descendamento. E agora? Aquele jogo que diferente. O cara não corre mostrando a bunda, né? Percebeu? Isso aqui joga os personagens mostrando a bunda. Caralho.
They synchronized the alarms with the nuclear reactor's self-destruct switch. What the hell are they thinking? They'd rather take everyone and everything with them than give up the Iron Heart. I can modify the circuitry, find the alarms and destroy them.
É o Guarnição.
For now, we need to stabilize the deactivated reactor, turn on the coolers. I'll continue tracking the Iron Heart traces.
O cara tá fazendo tudo, mano.
All units transmitting critical operation details. From the restored Vulgus experiment records, I've reconstructed an audio recording that seems to have been made during the time of the experiments. Listen.
Legion will become greater through the Ironheart. Rise, my warriors! If your lives fall, stand in the back. The Ironheart will initiate the research this meeting.
It cannot be. Then these Ironheart traces are...
Alzaroke.
I see you found the experiment record. Seems I was tired enough to do that. Yes, I found Lord Carell's Vanguard. Born again, thanks to the Ironheart. Lord Carell said you would come. I am to bring him.
Esse jogo parece um pouco com...
I'll be waiting, Descendant.
Damn it! So the Ironheart's already gone.
Warframe.
So this is why the traces felt displaced. Descendant, in order to increase the accuracy of our pursuit, we need to access all the data on Vulgus units who were transformed using the Ironheart. You must defeat Alzaroke. Sharon, will you relay a detailed report of this to HQ?
Will do. I'll be on my way. Good hunting.
Pra lá, desgraça.
It is over, Descendant. But there is so much information that is hard to accept. This Alzaroke is one thing. But Carell has ordered for the Ironheart to be inverted. Whatever that means. Inversion. What could that be?
On inverting the Ironheart data. If you do that, we won't be able to decipher the unidentified guide code. And
Enough! Ironheart data must be inverted in order to destroy the dimensional wall. I don't have time to think about that! You understand my vision now, don't you?
Oh, of course. I am only thinking of our research.
I'm glad to hear that our objectives are aligned. Initiate the data inversion.
Os caras têm muita criatividade para desenvolver, para criar esses personagens, história e esses trajes, né, velho? Desenho de cenário.
Cliphoff will engulf Inquis. The roars of the Vulgus will fill this land with fear.
Descendant, I have the results of the operation from Sharon. Alpha is tied up with an emergency meeting with the Magisters. I have been ordered to brief you on the follow-up operation. Please make your way to HQ.
Opa, lá, errado. Albion. Ah, o X macarrota. Diminuir a sobrecarga da computação. Peraí, rapidinho. Ainda tá sobrecarregado, não sei por que, mas tá. Mas já vai passar isso aí, peraí.
Infiltration by the Vulgus has gotten worse recently. HQ was ordered us to step across security.
This is an important operation, so listen carefully. Excellent work, Descendant. This operation has yielded many results, both positive and negative. Firstly, all of HQ is encouraged by the possibilities presented by the guide. Although we were unsuccessful in our retrieval of the Ironheart, thanks to the guide's tracking function, we uncovered the Vulgus restricted zone and Alzarok. This proves the guide's tracking system exists and is operational. However, the ingenuity that the Vulgus demonstrated with their use of the Ironheart was alarming. So much so that the Magisters requested an emergency meeting with Alpha. In particular, the inversion of the Ironheart ordered by Corral is something we must understand, no matter the cost. From this point forward, HQ plans to adopt the guide's tracking functionality and the various other information sources they offer as official operational elements. The Descendants will soon be deployed throughout Ingress. Use the guide to track the Ironheart and proceed with the mission to investigate the inversion procedure. Humanity's full-scale counterattack has officially begun. However, I know you have just completed a difficult mission. Until the official deployment order is given, please go ahead with whatever preparations you need to make. The Magisters have promised their full commitment to support research efforts, so this is the perfect opportunity to request anything you need from an ace. Before you go, Descendant, I have a personal request. Can you retrieve the Alzarok autopsy report from Jeremy? The report was intended for delivery to the Magisters. Jeremy requested a brief look at it, and I haven't heard from him since. I understand things are strained between you and Jeremy due to the recent operation, but I hope you'll do this anyway. Descendant, just in case, I hope you're not disappointed that Jeremy wasn't punished. I actually saw Alpha slap Jeremy earlier. No one enjoys seeing their superior do something like that, but I believe it was a more appropriate punishment than a court-martial. I'm sure that Jeremy has also learned his lesson.
Deixa eu ver aqui. O que fica pesado nessa área? Acho que é por causa dos outros usuários. Tem muita informação gráfica no usuário. Deixa eu ver se dá pra tipo tirar os outros. Se dá pra tirar aqui. Não tem que tirar o gráfico. Não tem que deixar ele aparecer os outros personagens do jogo. Realmente não dá. O problema é que pesa isso. Às vezes fica pesado porque tem muito usuário, muito personagem de um lado pro outro. Pesa pra caralho. Vamos ver a próxima missão então. Para não sair dessa tela de dele, tem muito usuário. Isso. Aqui vem. Aí, ó. Tá cheio de usuário aqui. Tá pesado. Pera aí, tá, gente? Agora chegou do limite de estresse da máquina, acho. Até a placa-mãe desativou aqui a Execução de performance. Desativou de novo. Eles têm a frequência desse produto é 1600, era para estar no máximo, né? Ó, uma é 1500, outra é 1600. Acho que é a placa de captura